had diamonds in them, so perhaps they're going to melt them down. If they're not melting them down, how could anybody who's offered this know it comes from the robbery?
Well, there is a distinctive initials on the inside of these bangles, JPD, which is the jeweller's initials.
OK, well, if you're offered any of these with those initials JPD, if you've got any rumours, heard anything about these 5, perhaps there were fewer on the first robbery, anything on the grapevine at all about the gang, or have any ideas who this could be, or if you can link any of them to Wolverhampton, give us a call. 0500 600 600, or call the Leicestershire Police on 0116 248 4974. That's Leicester, 248 4974.
David and I are each looking for people who've quite separately gone missing, and we now fear both have been murdered. First, I want to reach all possible friends and acquaintances of Wendy Upton. Wendy, who is from Lichfield in Staffordshire, left her home last October to go to a local supermarket, and her husband hasn't heard from her since. There seems no logical explanation other than that she's been a victim of crime. A man and a woman who plainly knew her have anonymously and quite independently tipped off the police with names. But 7 months on, detectives haven't enough evidence to charge anyone, and they badly want those friends of Wendy to call back. If you knew her or heard what happened to her, please ring 0500 600 600 or 01785 234 952. That's Stafford, 234 952.
The second missing person we're really worried about is a father from Warrington, Everton Binns. Here he is last Christmas with his family, but soon afterwards he vanished. He was last seen leaving a friend's home in Kirby on Merseyside, and we think something happened to him that night, Wednesday, the 20th of January. He didn't turn up at a family funeral the next day. He hasn't taken his money or his passport, and he was about to become a dad again. If you've any suspicions or have heard anything about him, please let us know on 0500 600 600 or the incident room in Kirby, that's on 0151 777 6588. That's Liverpool, 777 6588.
Last autumn, we asked for help to trace a drug smuggler based in Liverpool. A Crimewatch viewer called to say the man was on a train to London. As a result, he was traced and arrested. And last month, Mark Pimblett was convicted and sentenced to 7 years. And a reappeal from March. We now have a new image of a man whose body was found on the banks of the Thames in Deptford.
The story is that on Monday the 14th of December at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a member of the public was walking along the Thames footpath. He noticed what he thought was some body parts on the foreshore. We attended and we recovered human remains, and from there onwards we've been trying to identify the victim.
We don't know what sort of hair he had, hence the variations. But do you recognise who this could be? Someone who disappeared sometime late last year. Mid-30s, 5'7", stocky, Mediterranean-looking, with exceptionally good teeth. If you've any ideas, please let us know. 0500 600 600. That's free call 0500 600 600.
Although we've increased the number of lines here in the studio from 40 to 60, there's an enormous volume coming in. The lines are almost jammed, but I think you can still get through at the moment. And a lot of people on the Jill Dando murder have been ringing in to name other people they think were in the area of Fulham on Monday, the 26th of April. We so far haven't got anybody who says that they identify themselves as one of the people that the police are trying to eliminate. Let me thank everybody who's been ringing in just now, and indeed, thank you to everybody who wrote to us or who emailed us about Jill Dando's death, the crime that touched us all here so deeply. We've had so many tributes, literally thousands. It's simply impossible to answer them individually. Please, though, tonight, only ring us if you've got information on the appeals that we've featured. Those calls we really need, not calls, please, for donations. If you want to give a donation, if you want to send condolences, addresses are on CFAX on page 621. Now next, events in Haverhill in Suffolk. Think back to the first week of January. We're showing what happened to a mother of 2, a woman who works days and sometimes nights, almost always outside office hours. On the Sunday after New Year's Eve, she just started her shift at work near Haverhill town centre.
I'm a part-time cleaner. And my husband does shift work, so he's like there to look after children when I'm out. I knew it was the dentist's alarm because I've actually heard it go off before. always used to park my car in the dentist car park because it wasn't far from where I worked. I happened to see this person standing on the corner and he just gave me an awful sort of like a glare, staring at me.
She went back to ring the owners, but there didn't seem to be a break-in.
I saw this fella standing there all in black, and I thought then, you know, what an evil looking thing he was. He was just like somebody really from a horror film, and that's about all you could say, you know.
Next day, next shift, Monday the 4th of January.
It was the way he was looking at me I didn't like, and the way he was suspicious standing behind the fence as well. I didn't know what his intentions really were, whether he wanted to hurt me. I just remember getting in my car, locking it and driving off as quick as I could.
I think I should tell the police.
Yeah, you should.
Gives me the creeps the way he's hanging about.
In the end, she didn't think it serious enough to go to the police. But before she started her next shift, she asked a friend to drive her round just to check that the stranger wasn't there.
Slow down, here it is. No, I can't see him. Okay, Sal, let's go. You'll be all right.
5 minutes later, she came back in her own car to start her shift.
I thought, well, if he's not there, I must be okay. And if he was there, first thing I was going to do, my husband up and let him know. But seeing that he wasn't, I thought no more of it.
An hour later, now 9:20, she finished work and set off home.
Before I actually walked towards my car, I can remember actually looking around. I couldn't see nobody, so I thought, oh, I'm okay. As he grabbed me, I realised it was the same person. And I remember saying to him, please, let me go.
But she was raped.
At first, he was acting that I was his girlfriend. But when I refused to do things, he did raise his tone of his voice and got quite nasty towards me. But this time he didn't have no hat on. You could see his hair and it was quite short. His face had like horrible like pock marks, and his bridge of his nose was like either it had been broken or he'd been hit there. His clothes smelt musty. I can remember seeing a gold ring on his finger.
After several minutes, she suddenly hit back.
Something inside me actually snapped, and I just lashed out with all my might I had to get away. I didn't even bother to look behind me to see if he was coming or not. I was just so scared, but I do remember scratching his face.
She ran straight to the nearest house. 5 days later, still in Haverhill, was this the same man, now with a scratch on his cheek?
You got a light?
I'm deaf, but I understood him by lip reading.
You got a light?
I don't smoke. I didn't like the look of him, so I tried to ignore him.
Can you give us a lift?
No, I'm busy. Then he asked me £5 for food. No, I don't know you.
I know you.
I just want him caught and be punished for what he's done to me. Where before, me and my husband had a good love life, it's like now we're having to start from scratch. He should be able to come up and give me a cuddle when he wants to, not just feel